Well, with that, let's go ahead and call the meeting to order at 4 o'clock straight up. Or is that too early? Would you let me to wait some?
No, absolutely. Four is fine. It's advertised time.
Okay, very good. Have you all had a chance to review for the second item on the agenda, have you had a chance to review the agenda? Or
Yes.
the minutes, sorry.
Yes, I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, any discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Very good. Now, the question to staff. I've noticed I have not physically signed minutes. Do I need to do so?
We've been working with our city secretary on that, and what we'll need to go back and sign. But since we're going forward with in-person meetings, we'll have those for you moving
Okay.
forward.
Okay. I had been thinking about that, but
I'm not sure if we're going to be required to hand you a stack the next time you're physically here, or if we're going to have COVID emergency pass on having them physically signed. So.
okay. So the item on the agenda today is consideration of a letter of design approval for a multi-tenant wall sign for the Lux Lounge located at 251 South Mill Street, suite number 120, as requested by Few Tuggle of Fast Signs, the applicant. Staff, would you like to walk us through it?
Yes, good afternoon, committee members. So the proposed sign that's going into the Awesome Center, this is very similar to the other signs that are in this on this building. It's filling the same space as they're designed for. So it measures 20 square feet, which meets the 20 square foot maximum in the Old Town sign design guidelines. As far as the design itself, it's primarily just the logo of the business plus like paint that's filling in the existing spot. Staff recommends approval. Are there any questions regarding this item?
I actually did, and it could be just the way it looks, because this is what it made me think of. Like, you can see up there how the little rectangular is black, but then it's darker black with the white writing in the middle. And then I was looking over here at your dimensions, and I can't remember the dimensions of the, basically the brick space, that space there. So it is one piece of aluminum that fills that whole space, correct? And then just the white being the Lux Lounge will be right in the middle.
Right, I think what you're seeing is the difference in color just in this area is just what the rendering they provided. So
okay.
It is intended to, because right now it's a much lighter color if they weren't having black there.
Right, I just wanted to make sure that it was identical to the other ones, because I hate this whole, well, let me retract that. I dislike this whole, like we've had this discussion before, the way the signage is, we started off incorrectly to begin with. So I just wanted to make sure that it at least matches everything else there. Although this could be our time to correct it because things are coming and going, right? Some of those businesses are no longer, and all this new signage is coming up. But you hate to start with one and then wait on the others. Like,
so it's going to look similar to the Paris Strike, how it's the black takes the entire area of the sign.
Perfect.
My only observation is the relatively small nature of the sign in that large space. The other sign you just showed, they balance that off with the logo. It does fill the space vertically. I don't think the extra background black space is it's not a deal breaker. It's maybe unfortunate, but it's not a deal breaker. Was there any other option to more change to fill that space up?
If the sign applicant was here, I was gonna suggest or ask why, like, you know how we have the LUXE? It'd be nice at least if there was a space between those, like just a little space between those, and then, you know, the lounge, just to elongate it slightly. The use of space, there's a lot of negative space, which I think is what Jack is saying, which is fine as long as that one piece of metal met the whole thing. But it's like if you're already paying for the metal, you might as well just pay to stretch that out just a little bit, but still keep within your, I assume that's their logo.
Right.
And that's how that looks, but they could definitely put a little bit of space between the LUXE just to elongate that out just a little bit.
It looks remarkably centered over the door entryway. Like but it's not a deal breaker. It is just the reality of dealing with a proportioned sign area.
I was just gonna say, we can always suggest that to the sign contractor, be like, the board looked at it, they approved it, but they're suggesting that due to the negative space, if you wanted to stretch out or space out your letters a little more, that's something to consider.
To where they stretch out a little beyond the transom, or what do you call the side part of a door? Not a transom, but a jamb, past each jamb. That's would be my
Don't put it
comment.
that way because it is. You can tell the way the L starts and that it definitely extends past it. It could just stretch a little bit more, be more utilized. That's just from a design standpoint.
Just to fit the full area.
Right, and it doesn't have to fit the full area because then you're really having to stretch, you know what I mean? At a point, you're gonna stretch it out too much. But if there was just a little, I mean, I know we've always seen the typeface where there's just that little space in between each letter. And I know you can't do it for the lounge because that, you know, negates the whole, you know, tight and the way they have it fitting under there. But it would be aesthetically a little bit nicer, but, you know, whatever suits their needs, I guess, is fine.
But other than that, I think they're working well within the confines and the intent of what we try to do. Is there any more discussion or emotion?
You want to approve it?
I think you should make it based on the recommendation stretching.
Okay. So, but everybody's okay with approval?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll make a motion to approve with the suggestion of consideration to utilize the full space. I don't know how you want to put it, whether you just elongate the LUXE, the Lux part of it with just slight spacing in between each of those letters. You make that sound way more elegant.
To better use the negative space by potentially changing the spacing or font structure.
Yes, yeah.
I
But
think that-
otherwise, it looks fine. I mean, if that's their intent and that's what they're set on, you know, okay.
Do we have a second or
second
just very good? Any need to discuss? All in favor? Any opposed? Very good. Staff, hopefully that wasn't too bad. Before you leave that picture, though, I just noticed, would there be a chance, are those goosenecks, are they needing repair or were they intentionally off the horizontal like that?
Good, yeah,
Good catch. We will, we'll go check on that. They shouldn't be intentionally offset.
Staff, you have us just where you want us. Is there anything we need to discuss as a group?
No, sir.
Well, I look forward to, now that I know we're going to be meeting, I'll be able to work my calendar. This is a nice option. I will not abuse the practice, but this technology is certainly going to be hard to leave after we've become so comfortable with it. So as we proceed, maybe we can discuss what are the ins and outs of making, is this one way to achieve a quorum? What do the attorneys feel about it? But now that we know, I'm going to be going back on a more predictable schedule in downtown. So everybody is trying to wrestle with these issues, but I appreciate the opportunity to take advantage of the remote technology today.
Absolutely. And to your point, that is something that the city management team is looking at, and I'll follow up with you.
Okay. Well, very good. I'll go ahead and call adjournment and look forward to our next meeting.
Okay.
All right, thanks.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye.